How's it going, everyone? David from dodmedia. I've been looking for a way to mount the camera in the car for a little while now that is a little bit more reliable than wrapping a Gorilla Pod around the passenger door handle, because it just kind of fell over quite a few too many times, and it's not really great when you're considering how much money this gear is worth. So I think I have found a potentially elegant solution. This is what it looks like. It's a 3-point suction mount there, and then I've attached that friction arm, and then the friction arm is also attaching on the top of the camera cage so that it's hanging down, which I think will help the kind of shaking motion that it's potentially going to have because of the friction arm. Now, the reason I'm using the friction arm is because to have this mounted on the windscreen, which is at an angle, despite the fact that it came with a little ball head, it's not long enough to be able to get the camera and the microphone on top of it. So I needed to extend that. So instead what I've done is I've put that friction arm on there and I've bent it so that it's not hanging down too far, so that the center of mass of the camera is close enough to that hopefully it's not going to shake too much while I'm driving. All right, the only way to know if this is going to work is to try it out. Seatbelt on. Let's go. Now I suspect that I'm going to be getting a little bit of camera shake still, just because, as I say, it's hanging down like that. It's not ideal. But you know what? It's just gonna have to do. It's the best I got so far. One of the suction mounts had come undone. I think what I need to do is add a little bit of moisture underneath that so that it really creates a vacuum and doesn't come out. Wow, that's shaking a lot. Okay, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. So another thing I could try, because this is actually shaking quite a lot, more than I thought it would, what I could do is actually try and put it on the passenger window so that it's flat, and that way the friction arm isn't going to be shaking because it's not hanging down, it's just kind of folded. Alright, how's this? It's still kind of looking shaky, and it's also kind of blocking my view of the wing mirror, so probably not the safest thing for driving, really. Okay, that's definitely like drooping now. This has not worked at all as I'd planned. Alright, well that did not work. So I have a feeling I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board and try out a different mount, because that friction arm is just not doing it. So I'm going to grab some lunch and then I'm going to head home. Here's my lunch. A Reese's nut bar, some bananas, and some corn bits. Just kidding, I've got food at home. Alright, so I realized that this just doesn't work. I mean, in theory it should work, and maybe it's because it's only got one point of fixation that it's just not stable enough, so it's wobbling around as it moves. And I don't know why I didn't think of this, because it obviously makes way more sense to do it this way, but this is the original ball head that came with the suction cup thing, and I have a cage for the camera. So why don't I just use this, adjust it so that it's coming down, and hang the camera from the top? I don't know why I didn't think of that. The original reason why I didn't use this was because I thought I had to have the camera mounted from underneath, because I'm not really wanting to hang the camera upside down like you would do with a GoPro, because I'm not sure how that's going to affect the image stabilizer that's inside the A6500. And also it removes that step of having to flip the image in Premiere Pro so that it's not upside down and just kind of fecking around with the clips like that. It's just easier if it's filming as it's meant to be filmed straight from the get-go. Now, this isn't the best ball head, to be honest. It's a little crap. Now, the only problem with mounting it like this from the top of the cage is that there's no room then to mount the little Rode Video microphone on top anyway, where there's the cold shoe. So what I'm going to need is a second cold shoe mount, which I can put on the side of the cage or even underneath the cage. And I so happen to have this little guy by Small Rig, which I got to be able to put a microphone on the end of the handle so that it was away from the lens, so that you didn't hear that little clicky noise that the Sigma lenses make. But then I went and bought the friction arm so that I could have the microphone suspended from above, like I showed you in my last couple of tutorials. So this became a bit of a useless purchase until now. So I'm going to stick this little cold shoe mount on the side of the cage, that way I can still get good audio from the microphone while I'm driving. Alright, back to the Batmobile. Bam! Okay, so this seems to be somewhat sturdier I've got the microphone mounted on the side, the camera is mounted from the top of the cage, and it looks like it's gonna work better. Let's go and give it a try. I wonder just how many micro shakes or micro vibrations are gonna be in this. We are about to find out. How's it holding up? Yeah, so it's shaking a little bit. I reckon a better ball head and it would be sorted. Just something that's got a little bit more grip to it. Going over some speed bumps. Good test, good test. How are we looking? Yeah, we're not looking too bad. Not looking too bad, I must say. This is one hell of a lot better than a Gorilla Pod. Alright, this was just a little quick one, but you know what? It's always fun to do. Give this a thumbs up if you liked what you saw. Hit that subscribe button to get more videos from me at dodmedia. Leave a comment in the comments section about how you mount your camera on your car. I'll see you in the next video.